Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. I know I am. I'm DisThunder from thefoosh.com, and we're going to look at Mezco's 112 Collective Conan today. And luckily for me, Veeb's got his Conan figure last week, or 2 weeks ago now, and he put up a very nice, clean, and a thorough review of this figure on the front page. That is, of course, at the Foosh, the place I always say I'm from. And that kind of frees me up just to kind of talk about the figure and give you my reactions, and I don't know, maybe we'll talk some history. I love history. You guys know I love history. And while the wait for this figure was excruciating, yes, he was worth every minute of it. And I still kind of can't get over the small miracle that getting this figure at all turned out to be. As many of you no doubt know, Mezco went to a lot of trouble to get this license, because not only do you have the original creator, Robert E. Howard, who has been, unfortunately, not with us for a very long time, but as you're also aware, this is no doubt a perfect rendition of the Frank Frazetta Conan. Now, Howard Story's original publishing dates were in the 30s, meaning that he was beholden to 1930s copyright laws. And those were already kind of questionable depending on where you were in the world by the 1960s, when Frank Frazetta started doing the covers for the paperback reprintings of those stories. By the way, fun fact, Metallica, Kurt Hammett, he owns one of the originals that Frazetta did for the first edition. And I think he paid around $1 million for it, of your hard-earned Napster money, no doubt. And all the Zoomers in the room are scratching their heads. But point being, to get a Conan, a Frazetta Conan, in 2021, and have it be this cool, man, there's no other way to look at it. We were very fortunate to get this figure. And honestly, looking at like the accessories, you get the feeling this is a premium release, even if it didn't have a premium price tag. Like, this is a big deal for Mezco too. Conan definitely did well in the weapons department. You have two swords, a scimitar and an iron broadsword, both with sheaths that will attach to the belt that I'll show you in a minute. A dagger, a single head axe, and a small round shield or buckler. Now, on the sword itself, you can tell a lot of effort went into making this look worn and used and out of metal, looks like an iron sword, with little bits of patina and some bronzing to it. That's one of the things I like about the weapons in particular, is they all seem to have their own distinct materials to them. Like the dagger seems almost new by comparison. A lot more polished quality to it, with a little bit of embellishment on it. And then the single head battle axe almost has like a carbon color to it. Gives it that kind of pre-medieval Viking kind of appearance. And the buckler has that going on too, with the ornate design to it. It feels like something out of antiquity. Now, I mentioned those sheaths attached to his belt. They use these little S-hook deals they came with, which is pretty clever. But I have to be honest, I have a better idea. Because while these are functional, if you go with something like, say, some jewelry, I don't know what the hell they call these, jewelry rings? Yeah, jewelry rings. There you go, see? That ain't going nowhere. And that obviously negates the possibility of losing those little S-hooks. I forgot to show the scimitar, so let's get out of the sheath, take a look. Very cool. Some scimitars have a really dramatic curve to it. This one's got just enough at the end to make it distinct. I especially like the gold on the hilt. Now, obviously, you figured out Conan comes with two options for head sculpts. One is just kind of stern and cranky, and the other one's very pissed off and enraged. And there's really no wrong answer for which one you want to use, in a fight scene. But that does consequently put me in the same boat as everybody else, and I really wish I would have bought two of this figure instead of just the one I ended up with. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad I got one at all, and thank you so much, Mezco, for helping me get one. But on the upside, I feel like because he has so many different options, this guy's begging for another release. Anyway, round out the accessories, he has a crossbody harness that you can put the axe on, or use those jewelry rings like I did, and you can add the second sheath to his back. The dagger and sheath just slides onto his belt. And you might notice the cloak he's wearing is a bit different than the one that we were shown. The original looked like a more long fur regal type cloak, whereas this one's practically a poncho by comparison. But the more I've messed around with it, the more I've grown to like it. And again, that's a great excuse to do a second Conan further down with that other cloak and maybe a helmeted head. Man, I almost forgot. He comes with a second loincloth as well that has a little bit of chainmail on it. And I haven't even used the damn thing yet. I'm telling you, this guy is just begging for a previous exclusive or a Mez-X or something. Give me a few different weapons, like a couple, like the Atlantean swords from the Conan Exiles game. Maybe a King Conan head. I mean, you could have a lot of fun just mixing and matching various Conan parts to make best damn Malibu Stacy Conan you could ask for. It's funny because when I reviewed the Death Knight figure, I complained about how I don't have any Mythic Legions toys. And now I realize I didn't need those. I was just waiting on Conan. I love the way these two look together. And it kind of works out because Conan's not really Mythic Legion scale. He's definitely more Mezco scale. So he's about 6.5 inches tall, which is perfect for 112, but maybe a little small for Mythic Legions guys. I play with this guy 2-3 times a day. And I'm really glad I stocked up on things like, dire wolves and lions and dinosaurs and gorillas and shit. Because there's like nobody he doesn't look cool fighting. I like to joke that when I got Supreme Knight Batman, he just made the rounds for months just beating the crap out of my entire collection. And now I got Conan, I feel like he just beats the crap out of my Animal Kingdom collection. Anyway, I'm not telling you guys anything you don't already know. This is like figure of the year stuff right here. And the only problem is now everybody knows it and he's really hard to get. But that's why I keep bringing up the idea of them doing maybe a variant or a re-release. Or hell, both is fine. I'll buy another one at retail. I won't even think twice. I didn't realize he was going to be like investing in like precious metals. But hopefully something comes along so that we can get more of these guys out there for you guys that happen to miss out for whatever reason. Alas, in the meantime, if you want to go check out that review that I talked about that Veebs did, check that out on the front page at thefoosh.com. And you can find more Conan-y goodness and other random crap that I do always at DisThunder on Instagram. Thanks for coming through. I hope you have a good day. Take care.